Good morning, good morning, good morning, my beautiful epic peeps. How are you today? I am so excited. I am going to try to get through the introduction. All right, but I am so excited to bring you our guest today. Her name is Dr. Dorothy. I'll tell you a little bit more about Dr. Dorothy in a few minutes. What I am going to say is if you know of anybody who may feel lost, who may feel unmotivated, unable to connect with their passion, go run and get them. You have about a minute or two to tag them on Facebook. Let them know that we have Dr. Dorothy Neville here with us today, and you don't want to miss it. She is a very wise woman, and you'll find out why. Before I can bring Dr. Dorothy on, though, I do have to say that my name is Samantha, and I'm coming to you on behalf of EPIC. And EPIC stands for Empowering People, Inspiring Community. And EPIC Tri-County CT is this beautiful, multifaceted platform of positive media, of empowering information, educational information that comes in the form of our print publication. We print this beautiful, high quality, gorgeous magazine every 2 months. So this platform includes our print publication. This is our March-April issue. We also have our digital online community. You can get all the information about EPIC at www.epictricountyct.com. There you can read the fully interactive digital issue. You can connect with the contributors. You can connect with the advertisers right through our website. And the other part of our platform, of course, is our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all under EPIC Tri-County CT. All this beautiful, all the beautiful facets of EPIC wouldn't be possible, wouldn't even be a figment of our imagination if it wasn't for the co-creator and co-publisher, Lisa. She's always working hard in the background. So please let her know that you see her and that you appreciate all that she does to keep this mission moving forward, because that's truly what EPIC is. It is a mission of, just being a resource to our community, to individuals, our community, and of course to our world, and to bring that peace and tools to find that peace. So, whoa, that was a lot. I do have to mention we have a couple great events coming up this weekend. You don't want to miss it. First, I'm going to mention is going to be Saturday night at Avant-Garde Center in Brantford with Bradford Tilden. Bradford is going to be sharing his Sonic Alchemy concert from 7 to 8:30. You can safely wander about Avant-Garde, all properly distanced. The fee there to be live is $20, but Bradford is also offering a live stream for those of us that'll be watching from home for $4.99. You can access the link that he will send you, and you can actually experience his concert in the comfort of your home. So please reach out to Bradford Tilden or Avantgarde CT13 at yahoo.com to RSVP, to get the link, or to simply ask any questions. You don't want to miss it. Also, Sunday, March 14th, we have two things going on real quickly. We have Lori Ingram. She is going to be presenting resilience, spiritual practices in challenging times. And I think presenting is probably the wrong word. This is really about coming together as a group in a sacred circle and talking from the heart about spiritual practices during the challenging times. And there's prayer time, reflection, and meditation. This is a love offering. Reverend Lori does this, out of the kindness of her heart. Love donations are gratefully received, and you can find out more at www.loriingram.com. And last but not least, on Sunday, we have Kevin O'Connor from KTO Zen Services, Peel to Heal Productions, also Sound Healing. So that's going to be at the Red Barn from 3 to 5:30 with Kevin O'Connor. And it's a little bit of yoga nidra and a whole lot of sound healing. You don't want to miss that either. Again, cost is $20. You need to RSVP, and you can contact Kevin O'Connor. all that information is always in our printed publication. Also on our website under current events, I can link you right to where you need to go to RSVP. So please check that out. That's the essence of what EPIC really is trying to do in our world. We're based on community, right? Coming together, coming to union with. And even though we've been socially distanced and isolated for this past year, we're safely starting to reemerge, and I'm so excited, so excited. I'm also excited to bring forward Dr. Dorothy. Okay, wait till you meet this bombshell. Dr. Dorothy Neville is a lady. She's a leader. She's an international speaker. She's had TEDx talks. She's developed companies, four of them, four businesses, and in a nutshell, what I can tell you is that Dr. Dorothy is a no nonsense, loving woman. She gets to the heart of the matter. She can actually lead you through the pain and into the purpose, into the passion. I had a 45-minute session with Dr. Dorothy. Let me tell you something. She knocked my socks off. This woman is very, very powerful. She's also the contributor to a beautiful article you can find in March, April called How Your Personality Impacts Your Health. Right? So today we're going to talk about walking in peace with Dr. Dorothy. Please give me a moment while I bring her forward. And all of us are giving you some epic love and some epic light. Yay. You're it, Dr. Dorothy. You're it.
Hey,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is their second article actually with Epic, and we appreciate that. We really do. I've talked to you,
mhm.
but can you tell our community, those that are watching now and those that'll watch the recording, a little bit about yourself and your journey to where you are today?
Sure. I've been around a while, so I'll have to really abbreviate it.
I
Um,
love it.
I grew up in South. I started in an orphanage for a few years and was later adopted by an Irish alcoholic cop, really, and raised in the housing projects of South Boston. And so I grew up very much aware of different gangs and different street corners. But when I wanted to get out, when I finally made it to high school graduation, I wanted to get out. Couldn't go to college or nursing school because I went to an unaccredited inner city school. So I ended up leaving by becoming a Catholic nun for a number of years. And with a long black habit, Mother Superior said, Sister, I'm sending you to college. I said, Mother, they won't let me in. And she said, You have a vow of obedience. You'll be going to college. And I thought, whoa, you never know where your blessings are going to come. When you
Right.
least expect them, Spirit sends you something. So I went to college, eventually became a social worker, worked in residential treatment, and when I left religious life, I went back to Southie, had very little, could find very few of my friends and very little in common with the ones I did find. They were still in the projects. And so I moved to Manhattan, became an international airline stewardess. And I flew over 1,000,000 miles as a stew and eventually got married and moved here to Connecticut and had two exquisite children who are now adults. And I was divorced after 15 years when they were kindergarten and fourth grade. So I went back to school, got my master's, became a psychotherapist, and started to recognize that after I was blessed, 3 months in, I had a 6 month waiting list that lasted almost 20 years, and I was seeing 42 patients a week.
Wow.
So what ended up happening is that I started noticing after a few years that certain personalities were developing particular diseases. And certain personalities develop fibromyalgia, certain personalities develop chronic fatigue, prostate cancer, breast cancer, and so forth. When I mentioned it to friends who were physicians, nobody understood what I was talking about. They said it's all coincidental, it really doesn't work that way. But when you can predict, there's a science element to that. It's no longer just intuition,
Right.
there's a prediction component. So I ended up getting licensed or certified in 9 modalities of integrative healthcare: acupressure, iridology, reflexology, and so forth. And finally, people on my waiting list who knew each other said, Teach us what you know while we wait to work with you. So, long story short, I ended up creating a 4 year program in energy medicine, I created my own method, taking the best of all of those things I had studied, combined it with my experience as a therapist, and thought, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing with my patients. And so I started doing that, taught it at the school for 19 years to physicians, nurses, OTs, PTs, and lay people who wanted to open up healing practices or who wanted to do their own intensive healing. And so, and my third and fourth year students did medical internships. So, and they, because they came in from different states around the country, they could all do medical internships wherever they lived. And so we either opened or expanded integrated health departments in almost 50 hospitals across the country.
Wow.
And, you know, you never, when you follow your passion, when you follow what you love to do, you
Yep.
follow your purpose leads you to your passion. Your passion leads you to powers you don't even know you possess.
Right.
And a girl who couldn't get into nursing school because of an unaccredited high school is now helping to open integrative health departments across the country. So you never know where spirit's going to take you.
Right.
So with
Right.
all of that, I eventually had a nonprofit. Our work was successful. Some hospitals wanted to give us grants, and so I thought I best open up a nonprofit for that. And eventually, my youngest left for Cornell. I drove home and sobbed and didn't know what I was going to do with the rest of my life, and decided I was highly successful according to the world's definition, but I was unhappy. And so
Really.
I thought I need to. This journey is about we can't give what we don't have. So I needed to go back and find out what was my joy, what was my happiness. And the way I chose to do that was I moved to Anguilla in the British West Indies for 10 years and absolutely loved it
I
and
bet.
really rediscovered a self that got lost in all the companies I had created, even though I loved them and raising my two kids, which I loved being a mama, you know.
Yep.
But we can get lost when we least conscious of it. We get lost because we forget to differentiate. There's us sitting here in this chair, and way over there on the other side of the room are all the past boyfriends or lovers or husbands or jobs or careers or girlfriends and all those different things because that's the life we created.
Yeah.
That's not us. We're the embodied soul, embodied essence sitting here. Over there is the journey we created. And when we forget that and we think we are the roles we play, we think we are the life we've created, we forget this exquisite embodied soul that's here walking a spiritual journey. And so for me, my work at this point is whether I am speaking, whether to a group of 10 or a group of 10,000, or I am writing books. I've written 8 books at this point, you know, or am I out working as a leadership coach, supporting leaders and companies to remember their why. What is their purpose? What is their why? Why do they work in this company or why do they form this company? Because when they remember that, they end up bringing who they are, the essence of who they are. And then their company thrives because they thrive.
Yep.
Because if they're surviving, the company survives.
Right.
And we're not meant to. Christ, I was raised Christian, so Christ didn't die so we could survive. He died that we may live and live fully and alive and vibrant, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that's what we're called to do. And so I try to bring that message to all that I work with. How can you fully live your life? Because if you're living your passion and your purpose, you're emotionally and spiritually living in ease. And if
yeah.
you are living in ease emotionally and spiritually, you do not develop dis-ease physically. That
Right.
only happens within a context that is spiritually and emotionally you're in a place of dis-ease.
I I am speechless because I respect you as a woman, as a business owner, as a mama, as a all this because you bring your whole self into each and every conversation and each and every project. I can feel it in your newsletters, in your articles. Um, can you tell me a little bit more? Tell us a little bit more about the personality and how that personality we can really is the word work on it, work on changing how we react to things that are happening around us, change our personality to better our health and to uncover the essence? Can you, is that a valid question?
I can follow, I can follow it. That makes it valid.
Yeah,
If
all right.
someone understands
That's
the question, it's a good one. Yeah. What we do is we have there's this embodied essence. I spoke about this embodied soul, depending on your faith system. We have that, but what ends up happening is as we walk through our journey, we develop a personality, either to be loved or to be safe. And depending on what is our greatest need, our greatest fear, whatever that may be for us, we develop a personality that supports that being loved or supports that being safe. And so when we look at that, does that support who we are authentically? Does that allow us to express everything about who we are? If it doesn't, we are never fully at ease in our own skin. We're not comfortable with our own skin. So we either, especially in America, we can become busy, 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 and we're terrified of stopping because if we did, we'd have to catch up with ourselves. All right. Right. Or we could become so controlling and doing it, even if it's from a place of love, that because I love you, I'm going to interfere in every element of your life to help you do it the best way possible. You know, because I love you, I'm going to take over everything you're doing and help make it better. All right. So, whatever the case may be, when you work with those types of people, and those tend to be the folks that develop fibromyalgia, when you work with those types of people, there's always a fear that if I wasn't protecting you from yourself, there would be nothing here. When in truth, every one of us is an exquisitely holy embodied soul. And I have had so many patients over the years, clients say to me, but if I wasn't busy doing, I wouldn't have anything. There would be nothing here. What if I don't have an embodied essence? What if I don't have a soul? And there is that lack of self-worth, that lack of self-esteem, the messages that this child got from the outside that they affirmed. Because when we have a belief system, I don't fit in, I don't belong. Just as an example, it could be anything. I'm not good enough, I don't know enough, or I'm not worthy, whatever the message may be. But let's just say I don't belong. What ends up happening is that becomes a filter through which we see the world. So that you walk into a room and nobody says hello to you. Well, you know you didn't fit in. Maybe everybody in that room is so caught up in the next appointment they have that they're filled with fears and they didn't even see you, that it has nothing to do with you. What if you walk in a room and everybody's focused on a task they're all doing? It's something they're creating, preparing for a party or something. Again, you don't belong because nobody jumped up and was excited that you nobody saw you, not because you're invisible, but because they're here. But our filter supports us, and we translate that everywhere. You know, I walk by you, I don't say hello. It's because I don't like you. Maybe it's because I'm focusing on where I'm going and what I'm going to say when I get there. All right, and it had nothing to do with you. So our filter creates wounds again and again and again that we're creating and believing others are believing us. And when that happens, we either generally become depressed with our lack of self worth, and then we become small, or we become angry and try hard to become big because that allows us to feel powerful.
right. And safe.
But both of those are about a story we created. Neither deals with truth. It deals with the story we create and we keep playing in our mind. So if your personality, if you will, is very outgoing, enjoy it. That's how you use your energy field. That's how you use your own presence, right?
Right.
But if you're outgoing and defended, what you're doing is either putting other people in their defense,
Yep.
right? Or causing them to leave. If you're outgoing and you're comfortable in your own skin, you're exuding love. You're exuding power, not control, but power. The power that comes from your ability to own the I am. When you own your ability to exist, when you have permission to exist from you, there is an ownership of the I am. And that gives you a strength, it gives you a presence that without words, you reflect who you are when you walk in. People feel the essence of who you are. And with that, then, as you speak or they speak to you, your personality is one, whether it's vibrant and really out there or more quiet but loving. It's always one of peace and power
Right.
and
And
presence,
right.
right?
Right.
If you're telling yourself a story about your lack of worthiness and your lack of ability, whatever it may be, that you don't belong, whatever your story is, and you're outgoing, the message you put out there is, I don't fit in. And they simply say, okay. And so they turn away.
Yeah.
I know I didn't fit in. Well, you just told them you didn't, so they left you where you were.
Right.
So let's look at. So the personality is really, it's our greatest asset or our greatest liability. It depends on whether we come from our essence or we come from fear. And fear puts us into all these reactionary states rather than responsive states. And with that, then, that reaction, if it is, that you're always ready for battle or you're always ready to be abused, depending on whether you do victim or aggressor.
Yep.
Right? So either way, you set up how others are going to react to you rather than respond. They will react to your reaction. And it's amazing the journeys we create until we change the story. And then it seems like we're living a very different life.
It's what I saw is a mask, and for me personally, and I'm speaking, for me,
Yeah.
I have within this person many, 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 many personalities that can change just like you would change a mask going to a masquerade.
Yeah.
Depending on what situation I'm in or what, problem, quote unquote, that I'm faced with, how I react depends on what personality comes out, what vibration. It's just what you're saying makes so much sense. And how do you recommend? What are some ideas to start recognizing the different personality traits and how we can begin to peel back and get within to the essence and
I,
find that passion?
I would say to you, you have one personality. What
Really?
right? What happened? But you have many different wounds. You have
Okay.
different defenses.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
But your personality is, if, and you're certainly a very outgoing woman and a powerful woman. You're creating a company, right?
Yep.
So you can be sitting in quiet on your couch reading a book, but that's you're just sitting in your presence. But once you start speaking, even if you're speaking from that reflective place, this powerful, rounded woman who's creating a business is present. Whether you're talking about spirit or you're talking about dancing or you're talking about a great wine that's out, all of that is just conversation.
Okay.
And then if you're speaking to 5 people and you catch their energy, you may be that much more out there, that much more present. And if it's one person and they're quiet, you're softer in tone and you're speaking. But your presentation is different, but the personality is the same.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Yep.
How do we go back to coming from our essence? It's recognizing that as embodied souls, embodied essence, we are all intrinsically holy and good.
We are.
So the moment you have created a false story about your lack of worth or your lack of ability or your lack of goodness, recognize that you've left the truth of who you are. Not for a moment do I want to say we intrinsically have every skill on the planet, but that doesn't make us unknowing. It doesn't make us unworthy. I'm not real good at all the social media. So I have a virtual assistant. Now, for me to say to you, I'm not really good at this, isn't me saying, I'm so unworthy, I am so dumb, I am so useless. It simply says, I've got lots of gifts. I'm really good at what I do, and I know the things I'm not really good at. And either I have to learn to develop them
Mhm.
or I can hire somebody else to do them.
Right. Delegate it out.
Right? Delegate it out. But none of that reflects my worthiness or lack of worthiness. It's just a skill I don't possess. And so many of us, because we don't possess the skill, see ourselves as unworthy,
Less than.
less
Less than.
than
Yeah.
everybody else out there has that skill. I'm the only one on the whole world who doesn't have that skill.
Yeah.
Chances are that's the story.
Yeah. Right. Right. Big chances are that's a story. I had dinner with a friend last night. My beautiful, I call her my Yaya sister, and we were talking about some struggle, some I don't want to say struggles, some obstacles that are appearing in my professional life and also hers. And what you just said really resonated because we do. I found just in that conversation we beat ourselves up if we don't know, a particular shortcut on a keystroke, and you could feel the energy kind of go down a little bit when this beautiful essence of ourselves and our people that is unchanging and always strong, always beautiful and perfect. Just because we don't know the shortcut or the proper keystroke, like you said, shouldn't diminish that.
It's just a
And
skill you don't possess.
that,
And
right.
think about it. Those of us who follow dreams, and if you're forming a company, you're following a dream. Those of us who follow a dream, if you can imagine, just visualize, we're sitting at the bottom of a mountain and we want to create this company. As you're climbing this ladder, as you are climbing this mountain, whatever, however you want to see this, you're climbing up this mountain to get to that place where you have this company, right? So
Mhm.
as you're climbing, you're recognizing so many things you didn't know you didn't know. I didn't know you had to have a lawyer to have an LLC, but now you have to have a lawyer to have an LLC or an S corp, C corp, however you want to do this. Okay, then my God, I don't know what lawyers do that. Well, now I have to find out what lawyers do that. Now I have to find out what does that cost. Now I have to register with the state. How are you going to know that over here?
Yeah.
You never had a company. So now all of a sudden you're realizing all the things you didn't know. But if that's your vision, you learn about getting an EIN, an employee listed number. All right, you learn about getting the state to recognize you as a business entity. You're learning all of these things. You weren't dumb over there. This was just a dream you never had. So you weren't aware of all of this. So by the time your business is fully flourishing, you have learned so much about you. I rise to the occasion. I may get overwhelmed for 10 minutes, but I rise to the occasion and I do whatever it was presented to get my company going.
Right.
I learned that I can't do it myself. I needed to get help and bring people in to support me. Wow, I just learned that I can adapt and grow. I may have sort of known it, but now I know
Really know it.
it. Now I know things I didn't know I didn't even know.
Hmm.
Boy, when you can look at it that way and recognize that the next dream you follow, you're not going to know everything about it till you're in it. How many of us decided we wanted to get married? We knew nothing about marriage till we were in it. We
Right.
wanted to have children. It's a breeze. I love kids. All right. When you have that child, you learn about being a parent.
Yeah.
Having kids is a breeze. I've already got one. Two's nothing. I'm already cooking. Have two. My goodness, it isn't exactly the same as having one, a little addition. It's a whole other personality. But how are you going to know that
Unless
until
you.
you put yourself in a situation?
Yeah.
None of that makes you bad or dumb or unworthy or not good enough. What it says is, I've discovered the next way in which I have to grow. I've discovered the next set of skills I have to develop. But thank God There's so much worthiness and value in here. I have the ability to become the woman I need to be or the man I need to do that.
Yeah.
And I have the ability to do what is required to do that well,
Right.
right?
Yeah. And how we react to that, we could either, cower and back away out of fear, or rise to the occasion and react with excitement and intrigue and inspiration. Be inspired to move forward. um, it's all a choice.
Choice,
It's all a choice.
all a choice. And for those with little self-esteem say, I'm too stupid, I can't do this, it's too hard, I'm going away. Wait a minute, you're not too stupid. I didn't say for a moment it was easy.
Right.
Life is very simple. That doesn't mean it's easy,
It's right.
but it's very simple. And you're not stupid because you don't know. How and why would you know? You've never been exposed.
Right.
So that self-compassion, that self-understanding, this I want to become so much more of me. I want to develop so many more of my skills or discover more of my skills that I don't even know I've had because I didn't need to use them. And then you say, wow, there's so much. I wonder what else I can do. What else I'm capable of that I didn't even think about. So
Yeah.
it's just it's a lifelong journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
And when you fall in love with yourself, it's an exciting journey of lifelong discovery. Not because you're going to love every aspect of you, none of us do. And none of us do. But that when one of those parts of me shows up that I'm not crazy about, okay, well, I guess that's what I'm going to be working on next. Here we go. I'm going
Here we go.
to rough edge, or I'm going to develop that skill set. Whatever it may be.
To move forward. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. We're already a half hour into it, and I could talk forever with you, Dr. Dorothy, and I know that we'll have you back. You're such an important contributor to the mission of EPIC and this journey called life. For everybody that is watching now or will watch later, please, please, you have to read the article written by Dr. Dorothy. It's in the March-April issue of EPIC. It is entitled How Your Personality Impacts Your Health. We've also shared Dr. Dorothy's website where you can connect with her directly in regards to the programs, her books, her speaking, the whole potato.
What I'd like to add is that on April 25th, March 25th, this month in a couple of weeks, March 25th, at a Thursday night at 6 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a free webinar on how your personality impacts your health.
All right.
All right. So
send me that information.
I will send you that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's free of charge. I want to get that message out there. How your personality impacts your health.
Yeah.
And when you're living in that fullness, you've got it. But every personality really betrays themselves differently. And as they betray themselves, they set themselves up for disease. Yeah. Right? Or accidents, as you know.
Yes. As I know. Like I said, everybody, it was maybe it was actually 10 minutes into the conversation with Dr. Dorothy. She hit the nail on the head, and I was just, whoa, that's it. And working on it little by little each day, it's really helping me to step forward and to step up into, the next level of where I'm going up my mountain,
Yeah.
It's a beautiful journey. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for being part of this EPIC community. You have a great day. And as I always say to our beautiful community, as you roam about the universe today, please do so safely, whatever that means to you. Just be aware of everything that's going on and enjoy it. Feel the joy. All right. Stay tuned till next week. We have guests coming Tuesday. I can't think right now. I'm still taking in all the info from Dr. Dorothy, but definitely keep checking back in. We'll share Dr. Dorothy's webinar information once we have that. So check out our Facebook page for that. And as always, it's always with love and light and the utmost respect for each and every one of you that we say peace out, Epic Scouts. And remember that essence, the essence of what you are and who you are. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.